Gopala Astrology channel, where the science meets astrology for common man's understanding. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for continued astrological updates. Hello, welcome to Gopala Astrology channel, ladies and gentlemen, once again. And today we have got one more interesting video for you all. It is a very interesting topic of Chandra Grahana. It's a penumbral lunar eclipse that is going to happen on the 5th of May 2023. It's just going to be the next week, right? So we are going to understand what happened between the 20th April 2023, where the solar eclipse happened, and exactly 15 days later we are now seeing the lunar eclipse. So what is going to be the effect as per our ancient technical texts? So is it a good eclipse? Is it going to bring positivity or negativity? And also we are going to go through each and every zodiac sign. How is this eclipse going to be really affecting? Okay, is it affecting at all? Okay, and in my opinion, this particular eclipse is a very mild one, and it doesn't have a big impact. In fact, it may give some good results overall, in my opinion. Okay, so at the same time, we will also talk about do's and don'ts, and in which countries this eclipse is really having gocharam. Gocharam means visibility, and what are do's and don'ts for pregnant women during this lunar eclipse. So remember, this is not solar eclipse, this is lunar eclipse. The effects will be very, very, very mild. Even if if it is visible to you in your own country, you are most welcome to go and view that in the naked eyes. So there is no restriction on viewing, because it doesn't emit any ultraviolet rays. Okay, so let's go into the video, my friends. All right, friends, let's go into the actual video. I will share my screen here, and we will try to get into the presentation that I want to share it tonight. Okay, so let's put it up here. So the title is very, very clear: Penumbral Lunar Eclipse, 5th of May 2023. Right, so please understand there is a big difference between three types of lunar eclipses that we normally come across. One is known as the total eclipse. Total lunar eclipse can be resulting in blood red moon. Okay, that's what happened last year, November 2022, and partial eclipse, and then penumbral eclipse. So how do we really understand the difference? Okay, I'm just going to briefly little bit explain about it. You can see the eclipses are always happening because of the movements of Earth and Moon around the Sun, right? So when there is a shadow of Moon, a shadow of the Earth that is completely falling, and the Moon becomes completely engulfed with the shadow of Earth in the umbra region. This is called the umbra region. We say that it becomes a total lunar eclipse. Okay, and suppose if it happens somewhere in the corner in between the shadow region, that is the umbra region, and the penumbra region, we call it as a partial lunar eclipse. And whereas when the Moon is out of this and it is in this light gray color area, we call that as a penumbral lunar eclipse. And we are going to have this happening in the coming next week. All right, so let's go into the actual understanding, which I clearly told you. What is partial lunar eclipse, what is total lunar eclipse, and also what is penumbral. So penumbral is considered as the weakest of all the three categories of the lunar eclipses. All right, so it's still going to have an effect on human beings and also the life on Earth, but in a very mild and subtle way when compared to total lunar eclipse. And of course, don't even bring to the topic about solar eclipse. Solar eclipse is entirely different, and this one is a milder effect on Moon. So Chandramam Manaso Jata, the Moon is the controller of the mind. So some of the people who are really having the weak Moon in their horoscopes, they are going to be really afflicted by this particular type of eclipse. All right. Sorry. I'm going to put this date and time and details with respect to New Delhi Indian Standard Time, and you can always convert back to your own local times if you are living in Singapore, you are in New Zealand, Australia, and things like that. All right. So this is actually happening on Vaishaka month. It's known as Shukla Paksha Poornima, and it's also known as Buddha Poornima that is happening. All right. So this is going to be at exactly on the 5th of May, 8:44 p.m. New Delhi time. It's going to start, and it is going to be there until the end of the eclipse is going to happen at about 1:02 a.m. in the middle of the night. So the most visible areas, I'm going to just demonstrate this in a much better way here. So you can see that literally the eclipse is going to move from Australia, then all about the Southeast Asia, India, and a southern part of Europe and Africa. So these are all the visible areas which I just showed you. So if at all you are living in these countries, please take a look at this, and then you may not have what is known as Sutak. Sutak is something like you need to follow certain guidelines. You are not supposed to have the cooking of the food at this point of time and things like that, that we really give restrictions for solar eclipse, whereas for lunar eclipse, we really do not give any restrictions, but try to avoid certain things, which I'm going to put it at the end of this session. All right. So let's try to understand what is happening here. The timings are given. The beginning of the eclipse 8:44. The maximum part of the eclipse is visible at 10:52. I'm talking with respect to Indian Standard Time, and then we are going to finish it by 1 a.m. All right. So we understood what it is now, and then there is some significance, some historical and a very good event is happening on that day as well. We call it as Buddha Poornima. So Buddha Poornima is actually known as a thrice blessed festival. You know, 3 times of blessings we are going to get from Lord Buddha. The reason is that Buddha was born on this day, and he also attained his enlightenment on this day, and also he also left this sharira, left his body on this day. So 3 important things happens in the Buddhist mythology, or Buddhist history. I call it as history because Buddha was really there. It's not really mythology, right? So there was a person, Buddha, and we know that it's a history. So he was there in the BC, you know. So the situation is like this. You need to understand there is a very high and significant importance for this full moon day. Whenever there is a full moon and a new moon, only then the eclipses are going to take place, and it's a very auspicious day. All right. So I try to put New Delhi as the center, and then try to plot a horoscope of that particular timing. So when I do that, I'm going to get Vrishabha, Vrishchika Lagna, that is the ascendant of Scorpio, and the moon is placed in Swati Nakshatra. So that means the eclipse really happens at the moon's position of Swati Nakshatra and the ascendant of Scorpio. All right. So I'm purely talking from the classical astrology point of view. So how to assess this situation? Even Bhava Chalita Kundali is being put here. So the Lagna Lord, or the ascendant Lord here, is Mars. And the placement of Mars is something like this. The 6th Lord, okay, is placed in the 8th house. This is forming what is known as Viparita Raj Yoga, 6th and 8th connection. And that too, it's a very aggressive planet of Mars, and it is there in association with its best friend Venus, right? So 6th and 8th means it is good. If you are talking in general about the countries and rules and regulations that is going to happen, the policies can be made. Some good policies can happen, which was pending for a long period of time, you know. So those good results can come from the governments, and yeah, there will be a big twist in elections, for example. It's happening right now in Karnataka, right? So there may be some new leader. I mean, there may be some new activities that can come in, and then it can defeat the enemies, because 6th house is the house of competition, and Mars is the lord of that house of Aries, and then it is there in the 8th house. So there will be a big competition that is going on everywhere, and then the one particular leader may emerge out as a successful politician. Very likely to happen. Okay, and always eclipses are especially related to the moon. It can cause some variations in the water levels. It can cause some tides. It can cause from some kind of earthquakes or whatever in a very subtle way, because the lunar eclipse is very, very subtle, and that too, it's a penumbral lunar eclipse. So I don't want to predict anything in general. I will only say that long pending activities, especially 6th house and 8th house, is related to court matters and legal matters. Those things will be settled by and large in countries which are active in world politics. All right, so that's the point here. And then let's try to understand what is really happening. Swati Nakshatra. So Swati Nakshatra is the nakshatra ruled by Rahu. It's a Rahu Nakshatra. So that means whichever the 3 Rahu Nakshatras which are there can be afflicted by this particular eclipse in one way or the other. So the people born with Swati Nakshatra have to take note of this, and it is really having some significant influence, and it can bring some kind of obstacles, and it can slowly remove it after 40 days. Remember, always the predictions that we give for lunar eclipses will last for 40 days, right? 1 month plus 10 days. So now, let's move on to the nakshatra analysis, right? So here, the Swati Nakshatra is being afflicted in this particular lunar eclipse, and then you should see the triangular formation here. So the next nakshatra, which is Rahu Nakshatra, is Shatabisha, and then another one is Ardra. So this triangle here, what I have highlighted here, so Ardra, Swati, and Shatabisha. These are the 3 nakshatras which will be afflicted by this lunar eclipse, in my opinion. Okay, and also I will just put up the chart here, which is where the eclipse is happening. This is the axis of Rahu and Ketu, and we see that Surya, the sun, is with Rahu, and then we have 4 planets inside the zodiac sign of Aries. And remember, Mercury is right now retrograding. It will become Margi only after 15th of May. That means there is a retrograde movement of Mercury, and the Jupiter has just joined this drama in Aries zodiac sign, and right there opposite to that is the moon with Ketu. Right, so this is the axis. So who are all the zodiac signs who will be really affected by this? Look at the position of moon. Okay, the moon is right there in Libra, and the owner of this Libra is Venus. So Venus is placed right there in Gemini, along with Mars. So it is bringing a lot of energy to Libra, and it's also bringing a lot of energy to Aries. So the real benefits that can go, or all being for which Rashi it is going to be benefited, is being highlighted in the green ticks here, right? So the only 2 zodiac signs which I personally feel will be affected is Taurus, because all the drama is happening in the 12th house of losses, right? And then the Aquarius. So for them, they had a very powerful Jupiterian Guru Balam. The Jupiter was in its 2nd house, and it just left. So there is a major shift that is happening, and Saturn is right now in Aquarius zodiac sign. So the effects of Saturn is going to intensify for Aquarius, and Jupiter has left the support system. So that is why, in my opinion, so there are many astrologers worldwide, they have their own opinions, and my analysis always says for this particular mild lunar eclipse, we are going to have problems for Taurus as well as Aquarius. Rest of the zodiac signs, in my opinion, it's going to be mild, and we will discuss that one by one. Okay, so also always look into the benevolent Jupiter, which has entered Aries. It always gives the best results wherever it is seen. So Leo is going to be benefited. Again, Libra will get a blessing from Jupiter, even though the eclipse is happening right there. And then, of course, the 9th house of Sagittarius. So those 3 zodiac signs will be really benefited by Jupiter's influence. It is going to supersede the effects of this eclipse as well. All right, so let's study one by one what is the effects that we can see for Mesha Rashi or Aries zodiac sign. So please consider both Lagna as well as the moon sign and give equal weightage. So if you are an Aries ascendant and or Aries moon sign, this is applicable to you. So please understand that the eclipse is happening in that axis of Aries and Taurus, Aries and Libra, and definitely you will be having some kind of impact and you will be under tension, right? So you are going to be pushed into some corner and given a lot of tasks, and you will have to work in a short span of time, and there will be a lot of stress. That's what I am seeing, right? So, and it won't be good thing in general, but whereas in future, like after 40 days, whatever hard work you are going to do in this particular 1 month span, you are going to see the results later. So that's why I call it as mixed results for Aries zodiac sign. You please make sure that you are having already an intense nature. You are the fighters, right? So you should not give up the fight. You will have some kind of pressure because Sun and Rahu is right there. So Sun is engulfed by Rahu in a way or the other. So your ego will be hurt. Sun means your ego, and your bosses are going to give you more tasks. So the work-wise, you are going to have pressure, but you are going to get all the results, and financially you will be gaining after 40 days from this eclipse. All right, that's my opinion about Aries zodiac sign. Let's go to Taurus. So Taurus is really having a challenging time. Why? Because it's all happening in the 12th house of losses. Right, so the Taurus is again ruled by Venus. Venus is actually the owner for Libra, and that is where Swati Nakshatra is placed. And the other house of Venus is, of course, Taurus in classical astrology, and it is all happening. The four planets systems is there in the 12th house. So there will be some losses, and if you are a student trying to pursue some exams and you are trying to get into some competitive exams, you may not see this as a very favorable period of time. And suppose you are planning to change your job, I strongly recommend you think twice and stick to your current job for a while, and then after 40 days you can move on. All right, so that's what it is. And then yeah, sometimes it can things can turn tricky if you try to take risks in the next 40 days. So my advice to you is stay put, do some prayers. If you are a Hindu, practicing Hindu, please worship Lord Hanuman, and Hanuman Chalisas can be either you can listen to it or you can chant it if you are able to do it. Okay, so that's my advice for Vrishabha Rashi. Let's go to Mithuna Rashi or Gemini zodiac sign. Okay, this is a big thumbs up for Gemini zodiac sign people. You are going to really shape something in near future, and that can give you a very good appreciation from your bosses in your workplace, and this can also result in promotions too. So the reason is that the Mercury right now is in retrograde moment. Okay, it's going to turn Margi after another 15 days. After 15, in fact, precisely 16th of April, it becomes Margi. So it's going to go out of that retrograde. So just be cautious for this 15 days until the Mercury is in retrograde moment. Do not sign any documents and things like that. Just hold on. After 16th of April, 16th of May, you can start doing all the auspicious things, and you will see a lot of positivity in the next 40 days. All right, so it's a big thumbs up for Gemini zodiac sign. And Cancer zodiac sign is going to have some kind of frustration. So your ruler is Moon as per classical astrology, and the Moon is right now getting eclipsed. So there will be some kind of detachment, lack of emotion, and then there will be feeling of despair and frustration in your side. So in the family domestic life, do not try to argue with your partner, but overall financial conditions and social, it's going to still remain the same. I can say that it's a mixed results for you guys. All right, so just try to not argue with your partners or spouses, even with your children. family in general, because you are going to have a lot of emotional time period in the next 40 days. All right. So the impact is always lesser. Next, let's go to Simha Rashi or Leo zodiac sign. So I see that there is a double thumbs up for Leo zodiac sign people. The reason is that the benevolent planet Jupiter has just gone to your ninth house. So he is directly aspecting to your moon sign or your ascendant from his fifth drishti. So the drishti of Jupiter, the fifth drishti or the aspect is very, very auspicious, and it has just entered the zodiac sign of Aries. So it is going to benefit you. You are going to remove all your stresses. Those guys who are planning to get married, they are going to get married, and things. So you have been waiting for a long period of time, last 10 months to 12 months. You did not have the Jupiterian Guru Bala. Now it is going to affect, and then eclipse is happening there. So it's kind of rebooting the system for Jupiter, because he is right there next to the sun, and then he's going to refresh the memories, and he's going to throw more impact on Leo zodiac sign. In my opinion, there shall be some travels. You may go for a trip, because it is coming to the ninth house. Ninth house represents journeys, long distance journeys, meeting some guru, taking the blessings. All those things are going to be amplified after this lunar eclipse as well. So it's going to be a good time for Leo zodiac sign people. Whatever you want to do it after 15th of May. As I told you, the Mercury, which is your 11th lord, is getting into the phase of retrograde movement, right? So whenever Mercury is in retrograde, our intelligence and our intellect will be afflicted. So you should not take any major decisions during this period of time. But after 15th, especially after 16th of April, 16th of May, you are going to see positive results. All right. The next one is Kanya Rasi or Virgo zodiac sign. So it is also going to be profitable for you guys, and you are going to enhance knowledge, right? So of course you are losing your Jupiterian Guru Bala, but still this eclipse itself is going to be really going to benefit you in one way or the other, as it is happening right there in the 8th house for you. So anything related to occult that happens in the 8th house, bad thing happens in the bad house, is always a Raja Yoga. So you are able to, you are going to enhance more knowledge. You are going to see that whatever priority list that you do for your progress, it is going to click at the right point of time. So that means you are able to manage your efforts, and then you are going to get the benefit after 40 days for all the efforts that you are going to put in the next 40 days. All right. So of course, there are some remedies here. If you are really interested, please worship Lord Ganesha, and you will get the blissful effects of this lunar eclipse. All right. So let's see what is really happening in Thula Rashi, or the Libra zodiac sign itself. So all the drama is really happening because the moon is right there in Libra zodiac sign, and so it's going to impact you more emotionally. So in my opinion, this is a mixed results for Libra ascendant people or Libra moon sign people. So you have to be realistic. You have got the Guru Balam now. Jupiter is going to throw a direct impact on 7th house, and Librans are going to get the benefit from the Jupiter. You must see my other video where I have explained in detail. But now there is an effect of this Rahu. We call it as Guru Chandala Yoga happening on that Jupiter, as well as Sun is there to combust the Jupiter, and it is all happening in this axis. All right. So you will have stress, you will be emotional, and then after 40 days, you will see fantastic results, right? Fantastic results are going to come to Libra ascendant people after the 40 days from 5th of May 2023. All right. So keep worshipping to Lord Shiva to gain the maximum results. All right. So the next Rashi is Scorpio. So Scorpio, as I told you, the Lord of Scorpio is still the Mars according to classical astrology. The Lord is actually going to give you a lot of competition and success in the competition. So as the eclipse starts at that point of time, it will be the ascendant of Vrishabha Rashi. So that means, in spite of you losing the Guru Bala, this eclipse, lunar eclipse, is going to give you some additional push and energy. And I think you will do very well in competitive exams if you are a student. If you are in a work in your workplace, you are going to also defeat your competition. Right, so take some good names, and it's going to be a constructive period. Next 40 days is going to be a good period of time. So please pray to Lord Ganesha for maximum benefits. All right, so the next Rashi is really benefited the Sagittarius or Dhanus Rashi. So you're going to enjoy making bridges with the people around you, So that means you are going to do a lot of interaction. Your network circle is going to improve because the moon is right there in the 11th house from your ascendant or moon sign, and then the drama is happening in the 5th house, right? So your own lord Jupiter is in the 5th house. It has just entered. Of course, there is a Guru Chandala yoga happening and things like that, but still, so you had completely got rid of this Sade Sati, or the 7.5 year period of time. So I see a very positive movement for Dhanus Rashi because the Jupiter moves to your 5th house, Saturn goes to your 3rd house, which is a very powerful thing to happen. The next 2.5 years is going to be a wonderful time for you. And this eclipse also is going to kind of reboot Jupiter there. And you will see much, much better benefit. Even your health is going to improve, your friendship network circle is going to improve, and you should see long-lasting relationships. All right. So if you are planning to marry or bear a child, I think this is the right time to plan, and you will get the blessings of Jupiter after this 40 days as well. All right. So the next Rashi, which can also be a thumbs up or a good thing, is Makara Rashi, or Capricorn Zodiac Sign. So here the opportunities for success and progress in your career is going to come out. It's going to open up because the moon is right there in the 10th house from your ascendant or the moon sign now, and then it's going to allow certain salary rise and things like that, and you're going to put extra efforts, and you will be given responsibilities which you always deserve, because normally Capricorn ascendant people are very disciplined people, and because of the hard work that you are already you are going through a lot of things because of Saturn in the 7.5 years period of time, you are really tested. But despite all those hard work, you had not seen results, but there will be some relief for you guys after this 40 days of moon's lunar eclipse. All right. So within these 40 days, you will see some progress, and then you will see really the benefit after 40 days as that will be in your hand. It may be a promotion letter, it can be a property purchase, it can be anything. So this is a good time for Makara Lagna people. All right. The next one is Kumbha Rashi. See here what is happening. Saturn has just entered your Rashi, and Jupiter, which was in your favor for almost 12 months, has left your Guru Bala position, 2nd house. It has gone to the 3rd house. So the 3rd house makes you to put extra efforts. The Jupiter is really going to push you to put a lot of extra efforts. You lost your Guru Balam, and also this eclipse is happening in the 3rd house of efforts. So that means, so this eclipse is going to make you work hard to see a smaller amount of result. That means harder you work, you will get only a little bit of results. And this next 40 days is going to be a little bit challenging for you guys. Okay, listening to Vishnu Sahasranama, if you are a Hindu, practicing Hindu, please listen to Vishnu Sahasranama and pray to Lord Vishnu. It can really help you a lot. Okay, and then last one is Meena Rashi, and I see mixed results for you guys. You have just got your Lagna Lord Jupiter. Okay, classical astrology says Jupiter rules Meena Rashi as well. So you have got a Guru Balam in a way, and then since Saturn always troubles you when it comes into 12th house, so you are on the toes already. So you are being put into a lot of hardships already, and then in between now this eclipse has come. These next 40 days are going to give you mixed results. Sometimes you have to be careful with your bosses. Sometimes you have to, if you are a student, you are going to get benefit on knowledge, And again, I'm stressing you that the Mercury is in the retrograde moment. Please do not sign any documents, do not commit anything in the next 15 days after 16th of May. I'm sure you can carry on with your commitments. All right. So that's what it is. It's going to be ups and downs. Both are there for Meena Rashi or Pisces zodiac sign. So please understand, this is just a summary. So except for Taurus and Aquarius, the rest of the Rashis are going to have mixed results, or either mixed results or good results. So it's going to be very, very mild, and always I recommend you to follow this chart. I will always present this. Please note that your 75% of the results are coming from your main horoscope chart. Okay, never understand wrongly. So these are all the Gochara Palams that will be given to you as a reference. But really, you have to look into your main chart, which dasha is running for you, which antar dasha is running, and with pratyantar dasha. So these three levels of planetary time periods you have to see, and only assign this as 25% Gochara Palam. So even in that 25%, you have to give 50% weightage to the moon, the thought process, and 50% to the ascendant. So I have put this slide many times in my videos. Still, I get the questions, which one you should see? Is it from the moon or is it from the ascendant? So please take a screenshot of this, save this, try to understand what is being clearly depicted here. All right. So with that, we have come to the end of this video. There are some do's and don'ts, and I'm not going to stress too much about it. Especially on the lunar eclipse day, you can go and watch. Really, it's not going to affect you. And of course, if you are trying to start cooking at that point of time, if possible, try to avoid it. And if at all you cook and eat during the eclipse, I don't think there is any effect at all, because there is no ultraviolet rays that is coming. But I will tell you one thing, as Chandrama Manaso Jataha, the mind is controlled by moon. It is very good for chanting certain prayers. If you are a person who is going to do meditation, it is a very good period of time. That particular 3 to 4 hours of time, if you are able to sit at least in a calm place and do some meditation, it will give you the maximum benefits. The connection will be very fast. Okay, and if you are a pregnant woman, please avoid going out. Even though it's not as like a solar eclipse, it's not recommended you to walk freely during this period of time outside the house. And also do not use any pointed equipments like knives or scissors. Anything can happen, because the mind, for some people, if the original horoscope doesn't have good position of moon, they may have some minor accidents or cuts and things like that. Okay, so that is the point. And then again, I have given in more detail for the pregnant woman. Please try to take a screenshot of this and then do it. In my opinion, there is no big deal here. It's a mild, and that too a penumbral lunar eclipse. Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of this video. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to put it in the comment section. I will always reply to you guys whenever I have free time. All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.